Welcome back. There are few things more important to a child's learning and development than reading. Books are such a vital resource, but it's not always the easiest to get hands-on for families. So we've got about 45% of kids across this country, they do not have access to a public library or even a store that sells books. Forget even trying to have books at home, right? Programs like Read Across America are working to change that. And today, I have with me a very special guest and one of the newest ambassadors for the program. This is Helen Darlin, former WNBA star. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
Fun to see you in this element versus on the court. This is your new thing.
Yes. Reading is now my game.
Yeah.
And I make sure I wear my tennis shoes.
I love that. How did you even get involved with this program? What a pivot, right? From sports to reading.
Definitely. Well, reading, even when I played, reading has always been important to me. I was the spokesperson for Read to Achieve, and I've always been involved in literacy. We actually met Read Across America last year at the WNBA All-Star. We did an event. And I did an event, and they said, "Oh, it was so amazing. We want you to be part of what we're doing," and it just lined up.
That's awesome. And speaking of events, and we'll talk about this at the end of the interview, you're in Denver for some events this week.
I am.
So now you're on the road doing events, talking about reading.
Yes, we were at an event yesterday at Scholars Unlimited, and we had some legends with us, Fat Lever, some WNBA other legends, Shea Kelly, we had Rocky, we had Kyle Speller, the announcer, and so we just brought the energy to the arena and just really want kids to make reading their game. Talk
to me about, okay, first of all, we've got this problem we're trying to overcome. Not enough kids getting access to books, right? And how you are connecting sport and reading. So what is the big issue we're trying to solve here, first off?
Just getting kids access.
Yeah.
We want to help kids find that book that makes them fall in love. We want kids to be able to see themselves within books. And that's the great thing about Read Across America. They are huge on diversity and making sure that every child see themselves in a book.
And connecting sport to book. You found that to be a really great connection, especially for kids, yeah?
For sure, and that's for me, right?
Okay.
I believe in moving and being active and making the story come to life. I believe reading is an adventure, right? And so my thing is like, I'm gonna bring athletes and show you the same way that athletes, train their bodies and minds is the same way that kids need to train to learn to read.
When you see a kid really connect with a book, I mean, for me, I'm a mom, I see my toddler really connecting with books and it warms my heart. I feel like that's one of the coolest things I can do for a kid. You get to see this happen in real life.
I do. Not only in real life, I had to do it with my kids. So I have triplets.
You have triplets?
I have triplets. They're 24 now.
What can't you do? But okay, so what was that like for you, raising those little ones through the book experience, right?
Oh, it was fun. Well, you had to think, each child had to pick a book, their own book, because I want them to pick their own book, the choice. And so we read 3 books every night. And I had one son, Jawan, he loved Silly Willy. So we had to read, that was his book of choice every night. I'm like, okay, son, at some point we got to pick another book.
Could you still read it from memory probably at this point?
I still think about the little boy putting gloves on his feet and acting like a frog or acting like a duck. So it's just hilarious. But we always ended with that book because it was something fun. Bedtime was always one of my favorite parts of the time. And just to spend time with the kids, talk about it, and them getting so excited to, Mom, read this book, And they were so excited just to have me read to them.
I feel the same way. It's my favorite time of the day. And when my daughter goes and physically picks out her own book. But I think what's really important about the work you're doing is not every family has that.
Yes.
So how do we create that environment where other kiddos get a chance to actually have access to books, right?
Yes. I know we talked about libraries. I'm really big on libraries. Like, get to your local library. But if you don't, we have Read Across America who offer free books for every child, not only elementary, for middle school and high school. They provide a plethora of books for kids. And so just, if you can be a member, get associated with Read Across America, go to the website. There's ways you can get free books for kids and start building that home library.
I love that. And then before we let everybody go here, you've got some events. You said you had the event yesterday at a school, and then you've got an event tomorrow on Thursday. What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're doing, it's called a literature layup activation, where kids learn new vocabulary words and they make a literature layup. So I say—
I love the connection.
Yeah, I say that I was known on the court for dishing out assists. I'm still dishing out assists, but now is to help kids make a literature layup.
This has got to feel really good, right?
It's
to take what
awesome.
you did in sport for so long and now you're doing like community impact work. That's awesome.
Yes, and to have Read Across America and be able to, as an ambassador and a sponsor, just to help me provide free books. So wherever I go, I get to bring free books to kids.
You're like the Santa of books.
Yes.
Thank you, Helen. Really appreciate you coming in today. Best of luck with your work.
Thank you.